How about you? I'm Hank. Welcome to Hamiltonville Farm. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you have power run to your pole barn? In this video, I'm going to attempt to hang 3 lights and install 4 electrical outlets. Eventually, I'm going to want to turn this place into a usable workspace, maybe even a workshop. Now that I've got the walls closed in, there's a lot of opportunities to turn this into so much more than just a pole barn. I'm not an electrician, but I know the basics. You've got to make sure you're grounded. You got to treat it with respect and all that, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hang these 3 lights. We've got a wire run. You've got to run a wire from the power source to the switch, from the switch to the light, then jump from light to light. That's how we're going to do it. In order for my lights to hang at the same distance, I've got this little chain here, and we bought a roll of chain here, I don't know, maybe 24 feet. But so I'm cutting each chain into equal lengths so that all the lights hang the same distance from the rafters in which we're holding them up. Again, I want to make sure if you're going to do something like this, either know how to handle electrical wiring or hire somebody out to do it, and check your codes in your local county or city, because they may require you to do something different with your codes. Now I'm just saying, if you have a wife that can drive a tractor, then get her out here. Get her, yeah, she says she can wire it too. So get her out here to put you in the man lift to get this thing all wired up. You just want to cut the chains at the equal lengths. And there you go, that's close. Pretty doggone close. So we're using 12-2 Romex, and that's pretty simple. You just have a ground, hot, and a neutral. So we'll wire it up. We'll match the colors to these lights here, red and black to white, and green to the ground. And it should be pretty simple to do. It's not that complex of a lighting system. Now that we've got this light hung up, what we're going to do is we're going to wire it up, but we're going to attach another wire so that we can jump to the light that's in the middle bay, and then jump from the middle bay to the end bay. And that's how you'll run that circuit there. Again, I think I understand the flow of electricity, but I'm not a licensed electrician by any stretch of the imagination. Man, it's daggum cold. I had to go get another jacket on. It went from 75 to 45 like it's all state trooper. I mean, you know what I mean? Daggum, it dropped is what I'm saying. But listen, I've got 2 more lights to hang. I'll get to that. But now would be a great opportunity for you to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we'd love to have you subscribe. Okay? Now let's get these other 2 lights put up. Again, it's super important to hire somebody if you don't know what you're doing here. You don't want to burn your pole barn down. You don't want to shock yourself. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Something that John Michael and Monica knew would do over at the New Adventure. One important thing to point out here is when you expose the wiring, you got to make sure that you don't expose too much, because you're going to want this to stay inside the wire nut. You don't want wiring exposed below the wire nut here. And these wire nuts actually come in different sizes. You have yellow, tan, and red, and that's for different sizes of wire that you're going to have to put together. So we just bought in the sorted pack. Now let's get this all wired up. Moving on to bay number 2.
So Hank showed you how he wired the lights themselves, the fixtures. So now I'm going to show you how I wire the switch, and then we'll jump over to the panel and pop the breaker in. So the first thing I like to do is I like to write which one is the feed wire. So I like to write that on there so I'll know when I'm wiring it up which one is which. Alright, so I'm going to stick the wires down into the box. And you're probably wondering how I know how to do this. Well, I grew up with one brother, and so my daddy taught us how to do everything. I hunted and fished and learned how to do all this kind of stuff. Which is kind of cool, really, to be a woman and know how to do these kind of things, because it's comforting to know, like, if something ever happened to Hank on the farm and he got sick or something, I could keep things running. So daddies, teach your girls how to do everything. So I can expose the wires. And so we're using Romex, and it's got like this paper protective. I just cut that off, and then I cut the sheathing back into the box. You don't want to let that go outside of the box. You want to make sure when you split the sheathing and take it off that you leave that portion inside so it's protected. So I'm going to go ahead and do the second wire the same way. Wire strippers, I'm sure that you know this, but it will tell you the size of the wire. So I just find number 12 on here, stick it right in there, and then just strip it back like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the wires. So now that I've got them all stripped back, I'm going to go ahead and put my two neutral wires together. And then we'll put a wire nut on those. So you're just going to take them and twist them like so. Wire nut. Secure the wire nut on there good. So inside the wire nut is a little spring, and that's actually what grabs a hold of the wire. So you want to give it a little tug, make sure it's snug on there. And now since this is a neutral and I won't need it for the switch, I'm just going to fold it up. You want to come around here and show them? Just going to fold it up and stick it right back into the box, like so. Now for the ground wire, I only need one. So I like to use what they call greenies. It's got a little hole in the end of it, like that. So I can cut one of these wires off. And I can just twist them together. Good and tight. Then you slide the green wire nut up on that. Give that a good twist till it's snug. This is not a necessary step. I just like to do it. Just so when I push it back in there, I know that they're good and together. So this will be what I use on the outlet itself. Ideally, we should have an outdoor, like, weatherproof box with the, you know, for the switch, but we're going to end up putting a wall up here, so we're good for now. We can cover it up for something. And this is just one of the switches we have left from when we built the barn. Hank and I wired that, so we had a few things.
When she says Hank and I stapled a lot of wire to 2x4s. She did all this stuff. I stayed in the attic a lot. You know what I mean? When we was running this stuff.
Alright, so there's a ground wire. What kind of janky screwdriver did you give me?
Hold on, I'll get you another. Hold on. That better?
Better. Alright.
So that 12 is a little more difficult than 14.
Yes.
But
a little stiffer.
Yeah, it's a little stiffer, but the reason we went with 12 is because we're going to put this on a 20 amp. Yeah, 20 amp breaker. I don't really know what any of that means, but at one point Gina says, go buy me a 20 amp breaker when I put this thing together.
So now I'm going to wire this outlet up, and the feed to this outlet goes to the power source to the panel. So we should be good to go, and we can flip the breaker on and see if we have lights. I had to break out my glasses. I couldn't see the screw.
All right, now all we've got to do is test it. We've got it run to the power source. So we've got these 3 indicator lights here that I can plug into the outlets. Once I plug it in, then you know Gina did A-OK. All right, hold on a second. Ready?
Do you doubt? Yay!
Hey, we got it. What about that? She did okay. Now let's see if we get lights. Okay, we know the outlets work. Now let's see if the switches work, okay?
Just kidding.
Don't
Do they work?
Don't do that. Yes, they
Yay!
work. You know, scare me half death. I didn't even know if that lights work or not. Hold on, see, keep it up there. Keep it up there.
Okay.
Look at that. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
All right, good job, girl.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
We got power and we got lights.
Yay.
So we're pretty cool deal here. You can watch how we actually built the pole barn in this video here, and then you can go over to Tractor Time with Tim's video and watch how he built his pole barn. That's a really good series. I recommend you guys go check them out.
Now I'm going to get coffee because I'm freezing.
All right, hey, we'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys take care.